Yeah. The voice of Austin, KZI, 88.7 FM. Shout out to DJ De Niro for doing that slow and sexy thing this morning.
All I know is at that point, I had a shag. I was trying to get some waves going, and a BMX was my primary mode of transportation.
Really?
Nice. And that was...
All right.
Jabari, that was the one time in my life where I didn't have game.
You had no game?
Not at that age.
You had no game, sir?
Yeah, hard to believe that there was a point where this platinum tongue did not get me opportunities.
Platinum tongue was gold plated.
I think I was sterling silver at that point.
Right.
Oh my God. I was working on it.
Well, you know, we all got it. I tell my daughter all the time, you know, it's every day you live is practice.
Yeah.
Every day you live is practice for the next time you have to do something. That's the way I always look at it. Yeah, man.
Man, De Niro, you put your foot in that, man.
Yeah, he did. He put his toenails
90s
on.
R&B. We're going to come back and talk about 90s later on. Mm-hmm. Remember, we talked, I'm curious, everybody. I'm curious. We're going to talk about it. I want to know, is R&B dead?
Mm-mm.
We gonna get to that one a little later,
right?
Because man, I want to know.
Let's talk about it.
Because I know they enjoyed that.
Oh yeah.
You think they're gonna call in and tell us how much they enjoyed it, or they gonna keep it to themselves?
Nice. That'd be cool. Yeah,
I'm sure somebody was out there.
They can hit us up.
That was the red light. That was the red light moment right there. You knew
the red light special moment.
The silk or satin sheets. Mm-hmm. That red light. It was about to go
down. Yes, sir. Yes,
De Niro, what you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm saying
here. About to make a brother catch a child support case.
Yeah, De Niro heard us on that one.
We gonna talk about that one too.
Yeah, he did.
A child support case, and you can't talk about that stuff through text, Jabari.
No, you can't. No, you gotta call people. People don't call no more.
Thank you.
We've gotten into the habit of texting.
See that was the thing. In the 90s, we was calling.
Yeah, we was calling.
Get your phone number so I can call you up and talk to you about that thing. But,
right.
All right, hey, there's some things we got to talk about.
Yeah, you remember that 90s voicemail we used to leave? Like we put on our phone, we play a song in the background and say, hey, this is your boy Jabari.
Oh.
Leave me a message.
Hey,
like Jodeci's playing in the background. Yeah.
Every freaking night and every freaking day.
If somebody offering you a job is like, why is this boy playing Jodeci in the back and I'm trying to give him a job?
Yeah.
Click.
But no. Before they click, well, my sister is having a hard time trying to find somebody. No.
Yeah.
We'll hang up on her. We'll hang up on her.
No, man.
You never know.
Yeah, this is
true. They might have thought you was smooth and classy. They ain't going to offer you the job. But they got a sister that
Yes, I can't offer you a job, but my sister needs a date.
Some hard times right now.
No doubt. All right, let's take a little break, show the sponsors some love. We'll come back. This is KAZI FM Austin, and this is the 88.7 FM KAZI. It is the morning grind, 8:07. What's going on with traffic? Well, looks like we got a stalled out car at 35 in Palmer Lane. Could take up south lanes of traffic as well. 183 and Lamar got a stalled out vehicle as well. Also, there's an Amber Alert out. Just check your phone for that one. Looks like that one, I'm not quite sure where that's coming out of, but looks like it could be coming out of Austin. So, just a little something to keep your eye on. This is 88.7 FM KAZI. Mary. Whew, I like that one. That one's got some stank on it.
I like that beat.
The beat's crazy, right?
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You know what? Mary is an icon at this point. You know, we were talking 90s R&B, but you know, she is what the queen of
hip hop soul.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anyone can touch her. And she's been holding it down for a while.
Yes,
think about it.
Yes, she has.
And may not be touched.
You know what? She's a lot of people, I think, with the style that Mary's created.
Yeah.
You know, she's taken, you know, when you go back to like songs like Real Love with that hip hop beat to it.
Yes.
But the chords were there, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I think she had on the baseball jersey and the hat to the back and the boots and all of that, and was real smooth with it. And of course, you know, lately, you know, she's changed the wardrobe up, you know, because like with the Super Bowl performance, you know, she was dolled up and she killed that, right? And then comes with Family Affair, which was produced by Dr. Dre. And I only found that out just a few years ago that Dre actually produced that song, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, she's married, man. She's awesome.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
She just brought in a new style of music that we hadn't seen, and she catered to the streets. Like she was the champion of the street. Mm-hmm. She gave that iconic feel to it. You're right. I mean, I can still remember the imagery you just said. I can remember the jersey. I can remember the hat to the back. Yep. I can even remember one of my favorite songs, my top 5 songs with Method Man. You All I Need?
Yep.
Up on that rooftop?
Yep.
Come on, Mary.
Yep. Yeah, that was, I think, a turning point. I really think that was a turning point. Like when she dropped that one. That was a turning point for Mary.
And accomplished. 9 Grammys. She got a Primetime Emmy Award.
Right.
So, at least we don't have to sit here and talk about how she's overlooked.
No, she's definitely not overlooked.
Yeah.
She's still as relevant as she was when she came out. I think she's even better now. I think Taylor Swift even brought her on stage when she was out. Like Taylor was doing Taylor was doing a date.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it was playing. Maybe I think she was in New York or somewhere where Mary was. And she brought Mary out on stage with her, and Mary did a song. So, to talk about the relevance and paying homage and saying, thank you for everything you've done, everything you've endured to come this far. You know what I'm saying? So I think that shows a lot.
Live on the 1989 World Tour. And yeah, okay. So that was back in 2015. Looks like they did that. Well done, right. Sir. Look at you.
You know what? Every once in a while the brain works. Sometimes, it shuts down and I get this coffee and
you're my
now and again.
My Rain Man of music.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. You're definitely really good. Definitely.
Boy, I'm telling you. All right, so we were talking about R&B.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks will say R&B is dead. Some people say R&B is on life support. Some folks say, it's not what it was because, like, if you listen to like Deion Cole, Deion Cole has a special called Cold Hearted where he talks about After 7 singing, Ready or Not, and then he talks about the young brothers, talking. And I can't go into it, unfortunately, because the FCC won't let me be.
No, they ain't.
But there's some differences in how it's approached then versus now.
Yeah. And we started off air talking about it, but I wanted to celebrate 40 years of New Edition since we talking R&B.
Yes, sir.
Because we still need to celebrate that R&B, those R&B groups like New Edition, they had timeless choreography. Patented.
Yes.
So we could talk about, so they had Brooke Payne that was working with them. That was the assistant. That was the legendary choreographer for them. But the R&B art form of group choreography, I think that's been forgotten though.
Yeah.
And that goes along with everyone saying that R&B is dead. But you still have groups like, now get ready now.
Okay.
Troop.
Right.
Silk.
Right.
High Five.
Right.
All Texas heads. If I lost them on the other ones, all Texas heads, they knew that High Five.
They knew
the boys out of Waco.
Rest in peace, Tony Thompson.
The Force MDs.
Tender love.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Full Force.
Yep. Yeah.
And then amongst others, but including one of the trailblazing groups of all time, the Temptations.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
The Temptations, and they're still stepping after all these years. But I mean, I just wanted to give props to New Edition, 40 years of excellence. And they're going to have their residency in Vegas.
Yeah, man.
That's going to be hot.
It is going to be hot.
So R&B can't be dead.
No, I don't.
Not if Vegas want them.
No, if Vegas wants them, no. Because Usher just did his, I think it was like 2 years, something like that, a year or two. Yeah, so it's proof that good music has a home. Good music's always, there's only 2 kinds of music, good and bad. That's it. And I think that's just proof that R&B is not dead, because that's where a lot of things stem from.
Yeah.
When you go back to the roots of what is really rhythm and blues, when you go back to James Brown, and, folks like that, and people, a lot of producers who imitated, because James Brown birthed Prince and Roger Troutman, and Prince has birthed, so many other musical artists that are influenced by him,
and even pop. MJ, exactly. We know MJ was influenced by
big time.
James Brown.
So yeah, he was.
Even pop. I mean, I know we're talking R&B, but yeah, that's how influential R&B. That's how influential James Brown. So yeah, I agree with that.
Exactly.
You mentioned about having a home. Didn't you say that somebody out in Arizona was trying to have a divorce and sell their
Look, check this out, son.
Bring us up to speed.
Check this out. Okay, there's a couple in Mesa, Arizona I believe the last name is Tantone. Michael and Danielle Tantone. They've been married for a while. Then they bought this house last year. House was like 500 G's, right? And at some point earlier, they bought the house last year, but some point earlier this year, they decided to get divorced. They said, okay, cool. Then they said, okay, well, let's sell the house, split the proceeds, and move on.
Yeah.
They ain't found nobody to buy this house, son.
And
they came.
are they getting what they paid?
They're not getting what they paid. That's the
that
thing.
hurts even
They're
more.
trying to sell it. The value of the house has decreased, and the couple has had to live together while trying to find a better situation. They've tried to rent it out. They're not able to make enough money to pay the mortgage to rent it out.
Yeah.
And so basically they for the most part living together because they can't afford to sell the house, man.
Man,
That's crazy.
first of all, they thought they had it good. Think about this. When you know you got a plan and you like, man, this about to pop off.
Yeah.
We're going to get this money. They live in Arizona. For those who don't know, Arizona is a no-fault divorce state. And that occurs when one spouse states that the marriage is irretrievably broken. So only one
Sounds
spouse
familiar.
is needed.
Sounds real familiar.
Only one spouse is needed to assert that to the court to grant the divorce. So they was like, man, we out. Because you said it was only a year ago. So they
only
was
bought
like,
it a
man,
year
this,
ago, yeah.
this out. So the last thing we got to do, this big, beautiful house that we had, that we thought we was going to stay in and live the rest of our lives in, we going to get that money. And then I ain't got to see you no more again.
Right.
But then what happened was...
What they had said was...
Here's what I can tell you, Jabari. If they are that excited about getting away, use the no-fault divorce that you got from being in Arizona, and hey, y'all just gonna have to pay out of pocket right now for the rent it for what you can.
Yeah.
And then you only have to split the extra $1,000 or maybe $1,500 a month. And it ain't my money, but what I'm saying is I would rather that. That is the easier thing, that we just have to pay the $850 if it's $1,700, $850 a month a piece,
Right.
towards that. But at least we got somebody that's gonna pay the rest of the mortgage, and that last $1,700. Again, this is just math I'm just bringing up.
Sure.
But I think that's the way they got to do it. And then that allows you to just push this down the road. Let's see where the economy goes. Let's see if there's going to be more growth in your area, and maybe the house will appreciate again, and then you can sell it at a later date. But nah, bruh, I can't be, we getting a divorce? I don't want to stay in that house with you any longer than I have to.
Ooh, I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it.
Wake up and see him every day?
Yeah. That's just it's confusing to me because it's got to be. I'm sure the people out there that are in those situations, but it's got to be one of the hardest things to do is to say I don't want to stay married to you, but the money seems to play into the issues. And I've heard people talk about marriage and how easy it is, or people that can't wait to get married and all of that. There's a lot to this.
Yeah.
There's a lot to, and like I said, I've never been married, but I'm sure that there's more. And I've heard people talk about it. The fact that you're merging. You're not just marrying one person. You're basically kind of almost quote unquote creating a corporation, because you're both bringing in families, you're bringing in other people, you're bringing your bank accounts, your time, your patience, insurance, all of that.
Yes.
And that's got to be, you got to be ready for that. It ain't just something to play with. You know what I'm saying? It's just not.
Man, it brings me to the point of madness, because I wouldn't want anything more. Let's say one of them, somebody is pushing more than the other to get the divorce.
Right.
Generally, that's the case. Generally, but I don't want to have to have any more dealings with you, because you told me I'm not good enough, or this isn't working, and we can't work it out.
Right.
So I might be a little hurt, and like personally, that would drive me mad, man. That I'm hurt, and then I still got to deal with you. I still got to see you. So it's. Man, that's painful.
They got to share the bathroom with you. Still got to,
and what if they not cleaning? Like there's just how do you handle those arguments?
Right.
Like if you eat the last thing that's in there, and then like, hey, you couldn't go, and well, I don't have to. We ain't married no more.
Who's cleaning the house? I don't know. I ain't married to you no more, so I ain't got to clean the house.
And then
son.
Since we ain't together no more, I got a thing that was gonna come through later on tonight, and what you gonna say?
Right, and see, that's a whole nother
Petty.
That is a whole
The
nother ball of
pettiness.
noodles right there.
Yes,
son.
sir.
Woo-hoo. No. Oh my God.
I ain't gotta listen to you. I ain't gotta respect you no more.
Right.
Cause we divorced.
Right.
It's just the house is the only thing we sharing.
Right, but can you have a thing if you still legally married though?
Yeah.
Does
Out of
that
petty.
play?
Remember, I said it. Out of pettiness.
Okay, cool.
I want to hurt you, like I'm hurt.
All right, Mr. Petty.
Doug Petty,
Doug Petty,
cousin of Tom.
Yeah, be sure. Yeah.
Same glasses though.
Don't come around here no more.
Oh, hey, check you out.
Yeah, man. I know some Tom Petty, man. I know some Tom Petty.
Tom is amazing.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, let's take a break. Show the sponsors some love. Doug Dapp's in the building. Your boy Jabari Warfield's in the building. 823. Guess what? This is 88.7 FM KAZI. We are the voice of Austin. Did you know we've been broadcasting for 41 years?
Get out.
Yeah, man. We the old dogs, but we still got new tricks. What?
I ain't even got 41 pairs of shoes.
I didn't even cut my toenails 41 times. What you talking about?
That's the last time I saw cousin Roscoe.
That's right. Yeah.
He still owe me money, matter of fact.
Man, you ain't gonna get it.
Hey,
I
man.
promise you ain't gonna get it.
Yo, that song you just played, I appreciate what you did there. We was talking about R&B and them boys.
Yes, sir.
How come in like 80% of their songs, they don't like where the relationships are going? He said, I really love her. Love her? What?
Yeah. And there's some probably, if we was on the street, be some choice words behind that.
Candy
yeah,
girl. I mean,
yeah.
it's always your friends not liking your significant other. So Jabari, what do you do when your family and friends don't like your partner?
Ooh, when your family and friends don't like your partner, you got a choice to make. Okay. I think the biggest thing, one of the things that does not happen as much as it should these days, especially because of phones, emails, and texts, is something called communication. It's something called understanding of both sides. Right now, I probably had at least 2 or 3 ladies in my life that my mother was like, "Nah, she ain't the one. She ain't the one,
son.
Yeah, nah, yeah, keep her out of here. Please keep her out of here." But that's something. It's life lessons will take you there. I always, one thing I've had to do, especially lately, is trust that if God does not give it to you, then it ain't meant for you to have. Okay. He's probably telling you to stay away so you don't have no more troubles. And I think part of that is, number one, trusting him. Part of that is also talking to the people that have an issue with your honey. Yeah. Have an issue with your significant other, find out what it is and communicate, because you're not going to like everybody.
Hey, let me,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm typing this in right now. For $29.99, you guys can get the family action plan from Jabari Warfield. Step 1, first find out the issue. Step 2, decide on a common goal. Step 3, ask each other to help. Step 4, be firm with friends or family. And step 5, don't isolate yourself and don't give up. Contact now. Operators are standing by.
Operators are standing by. 1-800.
That was legit, sir.
Thank you, man.
Look at you, like a wealth of knowledge. That was adulting. Like you was all high road with that.
A little bit, man. I take the high road every now and again.
Sheesh. Make me want to be a better person.
Man, you know what? I try, man. I try.
I was about to try to fight a friend. Don't
fightafriend.com.
If they family, we about to take it out to the front yard. But like a friend, I think twice about fighting a friend.
Yeah. It's one of those things, man. I mean, people, and sometimes, people can see what you can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can see what you can't. We get delusioned by love and by, this is the perfect person for me. Number one, you're never going to find someone who's absolutely perfect. You're always going to have, little things that one person doesn't like about love, certain habits and all that. But I think at some point you got to talk about it and work it out.
Jabari said, "You'll never find
a person that you'll like."
Yo,
there you go.
So we was talking Arizona earlier,
right?
And much respect to those who are out there from Arizona that might be living around here with us. Well, when you talk about another state like that,
right?
What happens when like a whole state don't like you?
Ooh, if a whole state don't like you, you done messed up.
Can you ever think of when that has happened? Because I got one for you.
Let's see. What state may not like me? I don't think
A whole state.
I don't think I pissed off enough people. I've probably pissed off a couple housefuls of folks, but I don't think or maybe a block full.
Right.
But you jack up a whole state, man.
A whole state. I got one for you though.
All right,
Colorado. Colorado. Breaking news.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Colorado Supreme Court has declared former President Donald Trump ineligible for the White House and removed him from the state's presidential primary ballot under the U.S. Constitution Insurrection Clause.
Seriously?
So the ruling yesterday marks the first time in history that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. And now it's likely to be appealed by the U.S. Supreme Court. But the whole state, Jabbar.
That's bad when the whole state don't like. Let's think about some folks that like. There's I don't know. I think Rick Perry's probably.
I got him.
Rick Perry probably.
We're like a whole state. How about this then?
All right.
How about this? I got some people for you. I'm glad you thought about that.
Kick it, son.
Because I'm ready for you.
Kick it, son.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
The whole state don't want that dude. He was born in Wisconsin. He died in Wisconsin. You think Wisconsin want him?
Oh heck,
Nah. They done with that dude.
No.
How about Timothy McVeigh?
Oh yeah, they definitely done with him.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
He was born in New York. So Empire State, New York cats, y'all gotta claim Timothy McVeigh.
Wow, I did not know that.
He was born in New York. Now he died in Indiana.
Right.
But they don't want him.
Wow.
They don't want him. New York don't want him. Indiana don't want him. He's like, hey, Oklahoma, don't y'all want him?
No.
Don't y'all want to put him in y'all prison?
Well, see, and that's what I figured. Okay, let's put him in that prison so that way we can keep an eye on and watch him as he falls apart.
I got another one for you there.
All right.
Ted or Theodore John Kaczynski.
Ted Kaczynski, really?
So here's the thing. He's like that. So he was born in Illinois, Chi-Town, Chicago.
Really?
That's your boy. Chicago.
We ain't claiming him.
Hey, Chicago
can't claim it.
That's y'all's guy.
Yeah, that's our people.
But he died in North Carolina.
Okay.
So, but remember, he was found in Montana. Wow. So Montana was like, he ain't from here. Like he was living here,
we don't want
like
him.
here, but like he ain't from here.
Like here.
So
like
they
here,
was
here.
like ready to get rid of that dude.
Wow.
But Illinois, come on now.
Yo, that's crazy.
Y'all got to claim. Y'all got Ted.
Wow.
Ted is y'all's.
I don't think. Yeah, I think they could probably drop him off. There's a few sections of Chicago they drop him off in. He may get in. He ain't coming out.
Nobody want you, Ted.
He ain't coming out.
But yeah, Colorado. So I was looking that up. So that 14th Amendment, man, that Constitution, it's real. So the Article 14 of the Constitution, we all know that says that no state shall make or enforce any law that's going to be against any people. It can't abridge their privileges, their immunities. So that's Article 14.
Okay.
That's where you're at. But when you get to the 14th Amendment and that's Section 3, yeah, man.
Wow.
They ready for them.
Wow.
And that's serious things there that has to be invoked. All the political stuff aside, they don't want you. So now you got to ask yourself, when it's time to do your campaigning, is it worth your time to come to that state?
No, they don't, man. Well, you know what? I think he's just arrogant enough to say, you know what? I know that there's some people that I think he'll drop through. I think he'll come through.
I agree.
What I think will happen was, for the most part, he's going to get a lot of resistance. I cannot believe. I mean, I've heard of folks getting banned out of restaurants.
Yeah.
I've heard folks getting banned from airlines.
Yeah.
And from radio stations, right?
For the whole state. Wait. Why you look at me when you said radio station?
Y'all,
he looked over here. He looked over here, people.
Because you got that Bernie Mac jacket on. That's
but you'll think, got that sky blue. That powder blue. That UNC.
You got that jacket on, son.
Yo, he looked over here, people. He looked over here. Maybe that's my self-esteem.
You keep bum rushing the door.
I don't know why he had to look over here though. But so you think that the whole state, But I agree with you though.
That's
To
amazing.
to that point, because of his popularity, he will have a rally.
Yeah.
And when those people get to the rally, he'll make sure all the cameras are running, and then he'll say, "They tried to keep me out of the state.
Exactly.
They used to call me Crazy Joe.
Yeah, now they call me Batman. Yeah, exactly.
And rally them up like that,
Oh, man.
and then broadcast that to all the other states and say, you see, they tried it over there, but the people want me.
Sure.
They showed up. Look at the rally, and it's all about how you could do it with the cameras. I mean, you was big time. You know about how
Oh, yeah.
cameras and angles, and it makes it look like a lot of people are there, and you can play crowd noise,
Sure,
with speakers and things like that.
Sure.
And if anything, this is just gonna help him.
He's going to play this like a violin.
Yeah.
He's going to play this to his advantage, and that's exactly you've hit the nail right on the head. I don't see someone like him ever saying, I can't go anywhere.
Agreed. Yeah.
I can't do this.
He don't
or
know.
I don't have people. Yeah.
He don't know failure. 'Cause
No, he
just
doesn't.
keeps fighting and keep trying. Hey, let me do that. Let me do that official thing though.
All right,
So
cool.
Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. It's called disqualification from holding office. So no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military in the United States or under any state who have previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States. You might have known he was a president. Or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States. So if they have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, Congress, yeah.
And that's the first time that's happened, or you
The
said
first
it's
time
happened?
in history.
Really?
Yes.
Man,
Because most people kind of have the writing on the wall and they know, hey man, ain't nobody going, I ain't gonna get enough votes. But like, what did we just say? That's why I wanted to read that then. It's to that same point. He don't know failure because he just gonna keep fighting.
Man.
He is Rocky.
That is, yeah. He got. I don't know.
You can't win.
I can't win. Yeah, no. That is mind blowing. That's a record.
Yes.
That's an award that I would never want. I would not get. Would you like to win this or no? And there's no acceptance speeches. I don't want nobody getting it. I ain't gonna put no glass case around that.
Yeah.
That's just, dude, man, that's disrespectful to even think about,
Yeah.
bruh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty major.
Oh my goodness.
I am floored, man. There are so many things that I would have believed, but I wouldn't have believed a whole state. Now, of course, we have the appellate process, so he's going to appeal, but hey,
all day long.
I mean,
yeah.
right now, and then
Right.
and they're standing behind the Constitution. I could see if it was a matter of opinion or feeling,
Right.
but they're standing behind Section 3 of an amendment.
Right.
So the appeal is going to be strong. Like he's going to have to his defense team is going to have to like individually try to go after each of those Supreme Court judges, I think, and just maybe talk collusion.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm giving them strategy right now. Y'all call me up. The Trump defense team look like y'all need me, man. Y'all need me.
Oh my goodness.
Let me go
That's
out here
crazy.
and
But
help
he
these boys
believes
just-
in the Constitution. If you uphold the laws of the Constitution, which were written, you can't say, "Oh well, I'm going to jump on over to this law." No, it's got to hold as is. If you go after that law, that just shows that at some point you're upholding the Constitution when you want to, and not upholding it when it's up against you. Just take the L, and stay out of Colorado, man. Take the L and stay out of Colorado. Period.
The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, or ERCOT, manages the flow of electric power to more than 26 million Texas customers.
Jace.
That's representing about 90% of the state's electrical load. For those who don't know, because we got some new people that just moved here, but you had a little traffic you wanted to get to about ERCOT.
Well, yes, exactly. Well, ERCOT, if you've been here in the last couple of years, I remember it was a couple of years ago, the winter storm that came through, it was crazy.
Yes.
ERCOT was not prepared for what happened. People lost power in their homes for like days, months. It was just insane. I remember talking to one of my students, one of my Zumba students. Her and her husband had just had a baby, right? And they were in an apartment. and the power went out, right? And they were wrapped up in blankets and huddled together, man. And I felt so bad because I felt like, is there anything I could do? And there was nothing I could do because, I mean, basically, I was in the same situation. Power was out. I'm grilling breakfast, bro. Outside grilling breakfast, and just because there was no, it was just, because it was electric stove. It was absolutely bananas. And ERCOT got slammed because they were not prepared for what happened. So Pablo Vegas, who's the CEO of ERCOT, says that there have been a list of improvements to the ERCOT power grid, including weatherization inspections, infrastructure maps, and new communication standards. And Vegas says, quote, "We are in as good a position as we have ever been to deal with the challenges of a winter season," end quote. And that comes from folks at kview.com. Shout out to KView. But I saw this and I thought it was really interesting to talk because, man, I remember thinking to myself back in the day, like, when people come here for winter, it's like, oh yeah, y'all should move, come to Austin during the winter time, and because we always got sun and it's always warm.
Yeah.
And then we get them Shaq Diesel ERCOT's, dunks on our heads, man, and we lost power for days, bro. And it was one of the craziest times I think I've ever experienced in my life.
So here's what's gonna happen. At some point here shortly, Austin, and we're talking not just Austin, but Austin has to make moves, significant moves. The Austin Metro is the fastest growing area in the nation for the 12th year in a row. This didn't just sneak up on us. The Austin region continues to grow at the fastest rate. Fort Worth was the city that attracted the most new residents between 2020 and 2023.
Right.
But the growth. So that means the power grid should be making changes with it. And if that's not the plan, if the plan has not been instituted, the blackouts, the risk of blackouts, it's only going to increase. And now, as the 10th largest city in America, that's a black eye. That is national news, and not to mention with the amount of people that's coming to the area, that's a lot of people in danger. So you're talking hospitals getting overwhelmed. I mean, there's a lot of effects that could come out of side of this. Are the shelters ready? That is major, dog. Like,
oh yeah, like it's scary, dude.
I'm glad you wanted to talk about this because that's something that I don't think people have the understanding of, because it's only December, bruh.
Yeah.
We still got January, February to get to.
Yeah, and we're just getting started. And that's the crazy thing about it, man, is it's just, we've just coming into December. Christmas hasn't happened yet. And when it does, and I don't know what happens. All of a sudden, we just have started to do things at such an extreme way. But right now, it's like, oh my goodness, here we go with that.
You got to put your money into infrastructure. And
yeah, you do. Thank you.
For all of us who are here, I say it all the time. You gotta organize. You want to complain? That's what you should be complaining about.
Yeah.
All this money is coming. You ain't stopping the money from coming. What you need to be doing is making sure that the money is going to the right things. The reason everyone's moving here is strong economy.
Yes, sir.
Diverse culture.
Yes, sir.
Competitive cost of living.
Right.
Those are the reasons people are coming here. That sound like money to me.
Oh, sure.
Fortune 500 companies, yeah, they're here.
That's the attraction. I remember in 2004, and I was talking with my friend Ron, and Ron was saying there's a big buzz about real estate going on in Austin. This was in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around, and I'm like, you know what? I don't doubt that, but let's see what happens. And I'm figuring, okay, it's going to be, in certain other parts of town.
Yeah.
And of course, downtown, man, when you drive through downtown, you used to see East Austin on one side and downtown on the other. Now you look on the left side as you're driving south, you wouldn't think there was anybody over there. No East Side, nothing. And because it's so many, there's so much going on. There's so much as has gone on that that's the housing market, and people getting bought out of their houses, and property taxes going sky high.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like that. And I think, and I was actually reading that there are that the housing market is actually going to start to change, or has started to change. Like a couple of years ago, you could buy a house, you probably had to pay like 800 G's, right? And now it's probably back down to about 5 or 6.
Jabari could have played 800 G's. I said but that was to keep it going. Y'all see how high he started?
Well,
brother, you live different.
Yeah, well,
I ain't looking at nothing less than 800 G's.
Yeah,
brother.
Did I do that?
You did. You started really high.
I did.
What America are you living in?
Well,
Geesh, I thought you might come.
The numbers just came to my head.
No, but you're right though. Because you a man of Austin. So right. I'm making jokes, but you are an Austin dude. Like you are this area, and I was over at a holiday party, and someone had a house that's a 3-bedroom, and it's not the biggest house. It ain't like we sitting on up north where I live.
Right.
And that house costs more than the houses up by where I live.
Right.
The big houses.
Sure.
$1 million house, and it's a 3-bedroom.
Yes, sir.
Here in Austin.
Yes, sir.
Man, I lived in houses growing up where that joint was $400 a month my parents was paying.
Right.
And this house is $1 million house. It ain't a 2-car driveway. It ain't an acre. Right. The backyard ain't big. I know, because we was out there at the fire pit. But it's $1 million house.
That's crazy, right?
So I'm making fun of you, but that's you got to start at 800. You're trying to get something down here.
Oh, sure, exactly, and that's kind of where the show, because we when I threw that number out, it's 800.
Yeah,
but I threw that out there because of the fact that there were a lot of people, particularly where I'm at right now, there are a lot of people that could sell. At that point, sell their houses for 800.
Yes,
right, and now it's going down, maybe a couple 100,000, to where at some point you could. It's still high, but it ain't as high as it was. It ain't like giraffe's booty high, right? Like way up here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now people are starting to look into and say, okay, let's see what we can try to get. So
I think it's still going. I know we have a short thing for the break. I want to go on record as saying Austin is going to surpass Dallas in population. Now, when I say that,
that's a deep
I'm
statement.
saying Austin, San Antonio metro, because that is a thing. So the Austin, San Antonio metro population is projected to grow by more than 3 million by 2050. That projected growth of Central Texas's 2 largest metro areas, that'll surpass the current populations of Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston. And so
that's crazy.
That is where I'm going with it.
Yeah, no, you may be right. And I think they're trying to connect Austin and San Antonio too.
Yep.
That's going to be pretty interesting.
Yep.
All right, let's take a break. We're almost at 9 o'clock. 88.7 FM, KAZI 902. Your boy Jabari Warfield, Dap Dubs also in the building. This is the Morning Grind.
Man.
What's going on, sir?
Man, you got me feeling very smooth over here.
Christmas.
So we talked off air. You told me that was the soprano sax.
Yes, sir.
That Ron Brown was playing.
Yes, sir.
I had to Shazam that joint. And I like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. That put me in a whole different place, man. And I was just I want to talk to a jazz dude. Sorry to paint you into a corner there.
Nah, that's all right. Paint me. I'm good.
What would you say about jazz? Its relevance. What is it today? What does it mean to people today? Because it's not exactly the most popular genre,
right?
And so it's it's almost like a subset because it's not so mainstream talked about.
That's the thing about it, man. For me, like, first of all, jazz is America's music.
Yep.
And it's music that I think was boosted by, folks like Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Sarah Vaughan, Dizzy Gillespie, George Benson, on and on and on. For me, the great thing I love about jazz is that jazz, at least in the forms that I like to play, there's no box you can put it in.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's, when you hear a lot of music that's done, there's, it's done with certain rhythms and certain chords, certain producers, written a certain way, structured a certain way, especially when you talk about like hip hop music and all of that. And I think that's why why we love Andre 3000 so much, because him and Big Boy broke out of those molds. Yep. The way they dressed and the way, that the way they the way they spoke, the music that they used, the instruments that they used, the background vocals that they used is totally different, right? So music, I think, in terms of jazz, there's no box for it as long as it's good. Now, there's some structure that you want to, follow, but I think it's just one of those things, man. It puts me in a mood, like you said, takes me to that space.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Takes me to that space. So that's why I love it, man. And this project, the In the Christmas Spirit, that we just heard, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. Ron Brown, of course, was from Austin, got married here in Austin at David Chapel, as a matter of fact.
Right.
Over on I think it's on 12th Street, 11th to 12th. I can't remember what David Chapel is. Sorry.
I didn't get an invite.
No, you didn't.
I won't hold it against you, Ron.
Neither did I.
Yeah, but I'm me, though, and you're you.
And I'm, yeah.
So that's
whole
why
me,
I
you
expected to get one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he played. If you look on YouTube, there's a video of him and Kirk Whalum playing in Whitney Houston's band in a 1997 concert that they did. Right?
Yeah,
it's crazy,
man.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a really talented guy, man. God bless him, man. But he may rest in peace.
512-836-2887. If you're a saxophone artist, call up. Because I want to talk to you about some stuff. He and I were talking off air, and that soprano sax. I just want to know your opinions between the way you guys hold, the way you guys play, in comparison to the clarinet. Because some people may have thought that might have been a little closer of a clarinet playing. I also have always heard that the saxophone, the alto sax, is the easiest one to play.
Okay.
Out of all of them,
right.
And that this one, I could see if you told me that this soprano sax was one of the hardest, I think I would believe that.
I think it's and I would, of course I don't play. If Mike Malone was up, I don't know if Mike, if you out there, give me a call, man.
Please do.
Yeah, because Mike is an incredible player, really talented. He just keeps on getting better. The thing about the soprano sax, I think anytime you sing high, like if when you listen to somebody like El DeBarge, El has that really high falsetto voice, right? And so you got to get every single note to the T. People are gonna know when you're off, right?
Yes.
But if you're singing like with Barry White's voice was very deep, so he could flub a note or two. Not that he did, but when you have that high range, man, you got to be perfect on that high range, each and every note, and that's why I think the when you play soprano, you have to stay, within that scope, because if not, people are gonna know, like, ooh, man, that was kind of rough. You know what I'm saying?
High notes. You gotta hit the high notes. You get me. You get me.
Son. Trust me,
hey,
I got you.
We didn't talk about it. I know we don't have to stay on it for long, but yeah. So we did have some technical issues here, and we went down. Right. But I wanted to give props to we had a person in the building. Our own savior, DJ Motivation.
Yep.
This brother popped up. He popped up like Inspector Gadget. Like he was like, hey, I'm gonna need and the next thing I know, he comes and pulls out like he's some cyborg, like Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget is a cyborg, right? Like I feel like he's a cyborg.
I think he's like the $6 million man. He's probably more like the $599 man, but yeah, something like that.
DJ Motivation, where was you pulling stuff at? And then he pulled it out, and it was charged. It was properly charged. Like if he had it in his pocket, how you charging it? How is it ready when you need it? Because when you need it, you have it. And that brother had it. Right. Next thing I heard was, and then like he got panels falling off, and he got us back up. So the music can still play on.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
play on, gentlemen, play on. So we appreciate you, DJ Motivation.
Yeah.
Go Gadget Motivation.
Go Gadget Screwdriver.
I was just wondering if he'd pop up if I said that.
I think he's back there. He's back there working on stuff. He's gonna be doing a show.
I can't wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool.
Y'all listen out, because this brother is talented. He can do like 5 or 6 different things. So this is just one thing that he wants to do. Y'all might as well see it.
Yeah,
y'all might as well, because he's good at this. And I want people to tune in, especially because we're gonna have some early morning people, and he'll be in a 4 to 7 a.m. time slot.
Right.
So if you're working over, You got the warehouse job, you driving, you over the road, you're commuting during that 4 to 7. Check that brother out.
Exactly. Or a lot of folks like to get up and start their day very early, and they like to start it with good gospel music. And I think that's what we do, 4 to 7, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And DJ Motivation is going to be part of all that. That's going to be really, really cool. So be sure to check him out. Also, of course, DK Demps and Lady Joy coming to you throughout the week. Really cool stuff to get your day started Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 a.m. here on 88.7 FM KAZI.
Yes, sir. What stuff nowadays is none of our D-word business?
Everything.
Am I right?
Everything.
So some things should be kept in-house, and it ain't for the world. This for y'all to talk through.
Right.
So there's an NBA player. His name is Anthony Edwards. Some may know him as the villain in the movie Hustle with Adam Sandler. He played the tough guy. Some may know him. There's a little bit of a Twitter beef between Adidas and Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant came out and talked about this young man's shoe that came out and said it was ugly. And that may have gotten his attention. Some may just know him with his new $235 million contract that he signed with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yikes.
But if you didn't know him from any other way, you may know him now because some text messages between him and an Instagram model have been released. And Edwards appeared to encourage the woman to get an abortion, and he sent her $100,000. Now she said, "I didn't ask you to send me the money, but thank you."
Wow.
On the issue, and she said, in the heat of the moment, he said he was not trying to be that type of person.
Right.
He said to her in those texts, I don't want no kids, and if y'all didn't know, he already has a girlfriend, and she's pregnant.
Come on.
So then he went and got with this Instagram model on the side.
Right.
And he said, we don't need that baby.
Oh, my God.
So she released those text messages for the world, and that's how we all up in his business right now.
Man, see.
Jabari.
Yes, sir.
Could you speak to the generation that feels like everything needs to be taken care of in the court of public opinion for the gram?
Okay.
Could you talk to him?
I can talk to him.
Please talk to him about privacy.
Privacy. Okay. So now everything we do is done by phones.
Yes, sir.
We keep these phones with us. We keep our computers, our laptops, iPads, all of that. There's certain information that does not need to be out there. And you have to be smart enough to say this does and this doesn't. Part of that also means that, and we use Facebook as a Facebook or, the gram in all our social medias as sounding boards.
Yes.
Because we're upset. We want someone to hear us. We want someone to validate us. We want someone to feel our pain and everything that we've been through. We want and then it's, the thing about it is there's stuff that don't belong in everybody else's face. There are certain things that I don't want to know what you're dealing with. And not everybody wants to know. If you got people, if you got fam that you can talk to, try talking to them first. Call them up or even text them and say, hey, let's go grab something to eat or come by my house. I got some issues I need to talk to you about. But the world don't need to know. I know people that at some point, like they'll post this is all up. Ooh, I'm so upset. I can't stand this. And that's all they'll post. They won't talk about who, what, where, when, or why. That is all. And you never hear that people say, well, what's going on? What's happening? Why are you doing this? And they won't say anything else. They'll just put it out there like, what are you putting out there? Why are you rallying troops and don't nobody know where the fight is or what the fight's about? And at some point you have to take care of your business first before you start inviting somebody in, because you're going to invite the wrong person in, and it's going to be a madhouse. It's going to be something you can't control.
What about litigation? Think about that. I did not consent to you releasing these text messages. Just like when you're recording a conversation with somebody, and you have to understand you are hurting possibly yourself.
Yes.
Because this young man may be able to now litigate against her in the release of this because of how it could affect not only his money making, but his career. But more importantly, the privacy of their exchange.
Right.
And I think we're about to start seeing a lot of that coming up. And maybe even in this case, because you did not clear it.
Right.
And
exactly.
that's where I'm coming from. I think that there's that part that just hasn't been realized. He may not, clearly, he does not want everyone to know that he did this. So she did the math, and $100,000. An abortion does not cost that.
Right.
But to take care of the whole thing, and then recovery, and that was the number he threw out.
That's, to me, man. Again, this is something y'all need to handle in-house.
Yeah.
Like I said, whenever something goes wrong, what's the first thing that happens? People start grabbing their phones and they start either, recording stuff or text message, making posts or texting, all these people. And at some point, there's certain things that can be solved within a conversation between you and the person you're dealing with. When you involve the world,
yes,
the world's going to get involved. And this fire may get so big that you can't put it out and you'd be like, oh my goodness.
Well, I believe, I don't know 512-836-2887. If we've got some legal counsel that would like to call in and help us out with this, because what if the laws aren't there now? I'm gonna tell you a law I think it is right now that at least get it into court: cyberbullying. I believe that she did this so that she could humiliate him and compel him to think the way she wants him to think. So she's using the public now to help her when it comes to maybe getting more money, to working towards some child support or some other financial gains that she can get.
Right.
And I think it's cyberbullying. I could be wrong, but that's why, if there's somebody that's got a Juris Doctor that wants to call in and help us out with this,
somebody that knows something.
JD people, you want to come in?
Sure.
The views and opinions of you when you call in are just yours.
They're yours.
So you could be anonymous. You ain't got to tell us we're firm. You can even talk like this while you're calling in, and don't worry, we won't know who you are.
Synthesize your voice, do an AI with the voice.
Yo, that's where I believe, man. Yeah. That's where I feel that, and in my bones, I don't think you should be putting that stuff out there because I believe it's cyberbullying.
I think it's cyberbullying as well. It's you just really have to talk about it and deal with it in house.
That's a conversation.
That's
me and you.
Yeah,
it could be a phone call. That was his mistake too.
Right.
That was his mistake as a public figure to think we should go into this over text.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't nobody force you to text, but see, that's that generation, Jabari.
Yeah.
They feel like, I got to do it now. I'm hot right now.
Yes.
We talking about this now? Oh, we can talk about it through text.
Yes.
But did the young man not know that there was this thing called screenshot?
Okay. I'm saying.
I think I'm an Android. Do iPhones have screenshots?
I think you can screenshot just about on anybody's phone.
Yeah. So this young man should have known that.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing. We get so wound up, and we get like we have to deal with this right now. Because if I don't deal with this right now, I'm just gonna explode.
That's exactly where I want to go next.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you, Jabari, about you getting wound up and feeling like you got to deal with something right now. Jabari, what happens from your point of view, what happens when the deep cleaning motivation wears off midway, and now you're just sitting in the room, crisscross applesauce, staring at what you started working on?
Been there, done that. That was of last week.
That was you?
Bro, let me tell you what I don't like. Let me tell you what I like and I don't like. I like doing laundry, and I hate hanging up laundry. I like clean clothes. I don't want my clothes to be funky and stank.
Right.
But when it comes to like hanging it up and putting it here and putting it there and folding, I can do it. I'm not opposed to doing it, but it ain't my jam.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to sit down, and I want just a magical folding fairy to just come and fold all my clothes and hang them up. So I'll get into this thing where I'll get my clothes out of the dryer and I'll put them down and I'll fold some of them, and then like I'll get hungry or the phone will ring or something like that, and I will put it, or I'll say, okay, I'll come back and deal with this later. I procrastinate when it comes to completing my laundry folding skills.
To our listeners, did you just put it out there that Jabari is seeking a thang on the side? All you're there to do is to fold, because so you know what it is, thang. You know what it is, but hey, let me come through, let me do for you, and then I'm out. Did you just put that out there?
Come fold my clothes, and then you got to go.
512-836-2887. Call us up. Give us your pitch so you could be the next thing on The Price is Jabari.
Boy, you got to stop smoking weed. You really got to stop.
Jabari, you got to have, it's called a stable, son. You got to have in your stables, you got to have this. You got to pull this one out. Like you go into your golf bag and you pull out this one, you checking the situation, you're looking at it and you see what the yardage is. You're like, okay, I got to pull this one out tonight. So this is what you do. So on Wednesday night or Thursday night, that one knows it's my time. This is my moment to come through. Just like when Inspector DJ Motivation just pulled out the thing, when it's time, you just pull this thing out. And he went go gadget, and he took care of us. And now we back on the air.
We back on, yeah, exactly. Man,
look, DJ Motivation, you said he's going to be on from 4 to 7, right?
Right.
Your stable mate, the folding fairy, that's what we going to call her. The folding fairy comes over between 4 to 7. You ain't got to be there. Just come in, do what you got to do, and then bounce. Yeah, do your thing, and you out. Yeah. Jabari,
I can get with that.
Ugly people need love, too. It's pretty obvious your hesitancy that you ain't got to sport them out in the streets.
Yeah, but you got to pay them though. You got to write that check.
You can't be working with compliments.
For free. You can't work. No, people don't work for free, man.
Well, okay, so every now and then we'll mention. Like today, I was complimenting on your clothes today. Yes, I could compliment you, and you could give the little shout out. Hey, man, that was the Magical Folding Fairy. Shout out to the Magical Folding Fairy. And then boom, the Magical Folding Fairy. They can even call in once or twice as the Magical Folding Fairy. And then that.
Man,
they get that.
No, you talking about.
They're helping a celebrity.
You trying to get a brother in trouble.
Nah, I'm trying to enhance your stable. I'm trying to populate your stable.
If I don't fold my own clothes, I'm telling you, my mama will come down from heaven, smack me in the back of my head, and go back up. Say, boy, I taught you better.
You getting chastised by a ghost, a spirit?
Jan Warfield will come down and smack me in my head, son. No, she taught me how to cook, clean, and handle my business when it comes to domestic issues. Now, do I do them as quickly as I should? Like I said, no, but that's the deal. You know what I mean?
So are you saying that you were in that deep cleaning motivation last week?
Yeah.
You get in there with fire. You probably had some jazz playing, all booming around the house.
I had some salsa playing.
Oh, even better. So you knew you was about to do some things.
Yeah.
How far did you get into it? Did you get about an hour in, hour and a half?
I got in about an hour, and I finished. I will say this. I did finish. Now.
But you got weak.
But here's the thing. But I'm always, like, I teach a couple nights a week.
Yeah.
So, I've always got clothes that are, that need to be washed, man. So, I love clean clothes. I don't like going out of the house without clean clothes. My clothes cannot smell like they done had 4 or 5 days on them. They just can't happen. Yeah. So
you ain't gonna have nobody in the stable if that's the case.
No, man, I don't even want to be around here smelling like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't hardly run into anybody except for the people that work here. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Everything I do has got to be smelling good. So, that's the thing about, and I get caught up. Here's what it is. I also get caught up in, doing some of the stuff I do, like photography and things like that. And then I go and spend time with my daughter, and that's another 3 days right there. So when I come back, I got mad laundry staring at me going, you need to take care of us. So it's like that.
So we have had our weekly segment, and it's called Things We Would Ask Our Rich Friend.
I can see where this is going.
For all of these people out here, if you had a rich friend, you got to ask yourself, if you had that rich friend, like y'all friends, right. Like it's a friend, not an acquaintance, not an associate, a friend.
Right.
What would you ask him? What would you feel comfortable with asking them?
Go ahead.
And I have my weekly question for you.
All right, cool. Let's take a break, and we're gonna come back with that.
Okay.
We're gonna cliffhang. So y'all stick close and see what Dab Dub asks his quote unquote rich African American friend over here. We're back, y'all. 88.7 FM KAZI. This is the morning grind, doing a little crisscross. Rest in peace, Chris.
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
what
man.
a shame.
Yo, they out there. I think it's Chris Kelly. I'm trying to remember. It's either one of the Chris. It's the brother, the Chris that's still here with us. He's out there doing his thing, man, and he's very like eclectic, like artistic kind of stuff, right? Into like, you know, videos and all of that, man. So I'd like to see him, I don't know, direct a movie or something like that, or write a screenplay or something. I really, really would, man, because he's grown now. You know, he's grown. You know, he's an adult now.
Yeah.
But really has some artistic stuff going on with him. So, but anyway, I just got a call from one of our listeners. They didn't want to go up on air with us, but he made a very good point.
Oh.
We were talking about Anthony Edwards, right?
Yeah.
And what happened. And at some point, the woman, the Instagram model, knew at some point that he had a girlfriend.
Yes,
right?
she did.
Okay. And that is what is known these days as a side piece.
Yep.
And there is a position that you play if you decide to jump into that pool. If you cannot swim, you don't jump into the pool.
Yes.
Okay? You can put your toe in there, but don't jump all the way in, because at some point, if you know that you're playing that role, you have the option of saying yes or no. Right?
Yeah.
If you don't know you're playing that role and you're getting fooled because dude is saying, nah, she's just a friend, she ain't really my girl, then that's one thing. But if you know that you jumping into that pool, come on, son. Let's you know, so.
And she knew.
She knew.
It was very public, him and his current girlfriend.
Man, you know, and another thing is that this is whenever, and you know, like I said, I'm an old head, I'm old school, and I love it because, and the brother said one thing. He said one of the things that people that have a problem, when they have a problem, who do they run to? They run to old heads.
Yep.
They run to their moms or their pops or somebody that's older, and they say, "Oh my God, I've got this situation, yada 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 yada. What am I going to do?" But unfortunately, again, with our phones, with our instant communication, with the fact that we just have to say something to somebody or we're just going to explode. First thing we do is we jump on the socials and we start putting it out there, and that's not where it needs to be. You need to handle that in-house, because one of the things you're going to do is you're going to attract the wrong element into this situation, and they're going to basically do something, number one, they ain't got no business with. Number two, that could be very, very, very fatal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I just hate how it turned out that we all have to find out how these two young individuals are going to have to deal with this. He is new to the NBA. I don't think he's even been in for 6 years yet. Maybe it's his fourth year. That doesn't mean anything. But as an adult, he should have had some guidance, some parents. If I remember correctly, he has both parents. And I throw a little of this back on the parents, a little bit. I throw a little bit of this on the NBA.
Yeah.
There's something that the NFL does that they'll do kind of like a rookie camp. And they tell you little things like, hey, when you're with a lady, and especially if she's your side piece, you take... We say this in the Army: pack it in, pack it out. You take a condom into that room, you leave with that condom.
Wow.
Or you go flush it immediately.
Wow.
When you take a urinalysis, what is it? Chain of custody? Like you got to keep that stuff in sight.
Yeah.
You don't want that stuff disappearing, those switcheroo, none of that.
No, you don't.
You
want
got
to
it. That's game. Cardi B had it in her song, "Make Your Plow Game Weak." That's radio edit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's if you know that game is weak, bro, you got to do different things. Slim Thug has gone on record as saying, I got a vasectomy because I know who I am. My game is weak.
Right.
That Cardi B lyric game is weak.
Yeah.
And so he did that. I'm not saying that's the best way, but it's a way.
You got to be smarter. You got to take care of you instead of expecting her to be the one to take care of things. You know, and the thing about it is, and I love the NBA, I love watching basketball, but unfortunately, a lot of the brothers that are in there are not being prepared to deal with certain life situations. Now, of course, that's on them because they're grown adults. They got parents and all of that. But, you know, the situations, I'm sure, if you're an NBA player and you walk into a club or you walk anywhere, it's like, oh my goodness. What's the first thing people see? Money.
Yeah.
First thing they see is money, or, it's like, oh, I ran into so-and-so. Oh, it's such a real cool. And I'm not going to lie. If I had a chance to, to rub shoulders with Michael Jordan for a hot minute, to be like, yeah, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. Let me get a selfie. Jordan wasn't crazy about taking pictures with people, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But, one of the things about it is that's when you see money, you see success.
Yeah.
And which is another thing, because a lot of those cats, man, if they don't do anything with that money, in terms of investing it and putting it into something that makes money back, they can go broke real quick.
Yeah. And this is a 5-year extension, $260 million, as I mentioned. Here's what I can tell you. When he signed the contract, he, again, for the gram, it was some social media. I don't want to say it was just the gram, but I've seen the video. He's laying in bed and he's making jokes about this is the only female that will ever get some of this money. And he had a little puppy next to him, and he was making jokes about, now that I got this money, I know they coming, but they ain't gonna get none of it. That's what he said then.
Right.
He signed that contract back in July, and here we go. Now, we talking 5 months later.
That was quick.
It didn't age well.
No, that did not age well at all.
But again, that just shows you his maturity level, or just this generation. Generation, y'all want the old heads to stop coming for you? Stop doing stuff like this. Yeah. Talk amongst each other. I can tell you how many times I've seen screenshots in groups in groups where this is what he told me, this is what she said to me.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. Talk to your people. Like, y'all rally up, organize. I always say it. Y'all organize, and then y'all work this stuff out. Yeah. So that's Anthony Edwards. I appreciate that caller calling in and keeping that going.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna forget the segment.
All right.
The things that we got to call now. The things that we would ask our rich friend Jabari.
See,
I got this pretty thing from Hollywood, and I want to cook up something for her, and I want to impress her because she's Hollywood, dog.
Okay.
So she's used to that higher lifestyle. I wanted to know, you being rich and all, can I borrow some pots and pans? Because I'm gonna cook up some stuff for her.
All right.
Can I borrow your pots and pans? Your good stuff, because I know you got that carbon steel. You know what I mean? My stuff. I'm still cooking on brass, but you got carbon steel.
Boy, you are something.
So I wanted to know if I could borrow about a 15 piece.
A 15 piece. Oh,
yeah. But when it's time to clean it, I want to come back and get Jeeves and your dishwashers to clean it up. So I'm gonna bring them back dirty, but at least I bring it back.
I'm gonna take this call.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this call on you, and we'll talk.
That means I didn't get a no.
Nah, well, this is true. I ain't said no yet, but I ain't said yes either. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
I'm back again, Mr. Warfield, man. Y'all preaching right there about these young kids, and it's a lack of education.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I'm born and raised Austinite.
Yes,
I tell my kids right now, regardless of what they friends say about me being whitewashed or whatever, don't get it wrong. I'm from however they say in Atlanta, I'm from the street.
Yep.
We live by code.
Right.
We live by code.
Yeah.
Me and my partners, we had protocol. Mm-hmm. If we went somewhere after the club with a woman, and neither one of us had a condom, first thing money to health clinic, to make sure. They don't do this education wise. They ain't trying to. They go to show that to young cats that's getting in the NBA, NFL, soccer, baseball, or whatever. They refuse to take that knowledge on about that side piece.
Right, exactly. Or taking care of yourself. Investing in yourself and being careful with what you do.
And he said it best. You have no business. Same thing. I know this saying, take it in. Because I learned that in Fort Leonard Wood. And they wouldn't allow us to go out to St. Louis or go to Diseaseville, as they called it a little time, on leave.
Not Diseaseville.
If you ain't going to go on post. Oh, you got to leave? Stay away from Diseaseville. And if you come back and you got something, we're going to give you Article 15 because we told you not to go in that town. We told you what them girls is about. Now, I hate to say this, and if the young cats want to go in doing whatever they want to do, and knowing they got mama at home or whatever, I'm not a hater, but they deserve it because they should have strapped up. And
Yeah.
they didn't want to do it once, strap up twice. And like you said, you take whatever it is with you. You don't leave nothing on the side. You go on. The young kids better start paying attention to what we got to offer.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that.
Bottom line.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah.
See, so that's different. So a lot of people may have heard, and this is a separate topic, but same topic. Ja Morant, the NBA player who kept flashing guns for the gram.
Yes.
He on social media, he flashing guns up in the club. Come on, man.
Bruh.
And see what it is now. His dad is in his life. His dad is sidelines at his games, sitting courtside. He makes sure he's in every opportunity so people know I'm here for my son. I'm watching my son. Where was you at? Because I ain't seen no comments from him talking about I took my son to the side. Me and my son had a falling out because I told him we ain't going to be playing these games.
Right.
He ain't doing that. And that's another thing.
Yeah.
They see money. A lot of the old heads that's in concert with some of these young bucks, man, they in it. They trying to be friends and not a mentor.
Yes. Do not try to be your parents' friend. Your child's friend. That ain't happening. I told my daughter that too. I was like, I'm your dad. I said, I love you, but I'm not your friend. I said, you got plenty of friends at school. I'm your father. My responsibility is to help mold and shape you. My responsibility is to make sure if I see broken glass up 5 steps up the road, to make sure that you know that. Now, if you keep on walking and you ignore the fact that I've told you that there's broken glass 5 steps up the road,
makes a soft behind.
All day.
They gonna learn
all day.
They got to go through it.
Yeah, and sometimes the best lessons are the hardest ones, the ones that get learned.
And now you know what? He's a laughing stock.
That's
and he will be the test principal because I imagine the NBA. This is pretty significant. I bet we will know it as the Anthony Edwards training session after this because they're going to talk to the rookies. They're going to talk to them about stuff like that. Yeah. And it's just putting them up on game. There's two famous rappers named Cameron and Mace. Coach Prime brought them into Colorado to talk to the players.
Really?
What were they talking about? Well, it ain't about becoming rappers. It's about being a celebrity. Because Coach Prime said, yo, there's going to be a lot of cameras. Before the season, he said, yo, it's about to be a circus.
Yep.
So I need y'all to notice they coming out the woodworks.
Yep.
And some of y'all ugly. Some of y'all ain't got game, but y'all going to get fame.
Sure.
And you going to get a girl and she going to be very interested in you. So you got to be ready. Yeah. And these boys going to talk to you about that.
Exactly.
That's Coach Prime being a mentor. So for everybody, man, I was just talking to my homie yesterday, and he can't hate Coach Prime enough.
No, really?
He can't hate him enough. What?
Really?
Man, I'm going to tell you, there's a demographic of people who hate Coach Prime, and they know who they are. They are the people who within their circle, I allege, call in if you want to disagree. We only got a couple more minutes left.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you your inner circle ain't diverse enough if you hate Coach Prime.
Yeah, this is true. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I was calling about the young lady, the veteran woman that told us to call KZI for any information about her Stop Diversity program.
Yeah.
Because I was going to volunteer and work with her because I used to work as CPS and work with difficult children.
Yep.
Okay.
And but the number that she left, the 737-235-4927 doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah, her name is Shawnee Hayes. She's on Facebook. SHAUNIE Haynes.
Wait a minute, let me write that down. I have to write that down.
So because, that phone number for others, it's that she had is 737-235-7447. She was on the morning grind yesterday.
Okay.
Whole different crew, but hey, the good thing is your boy was listening.
I called the number, but it said it's not working.
You had 737-235-7447.
Oh no! It's
okay.
7. I got 4.
There it is. Hey, we got you. hey, how about that though? We listening. The morning grind. We listen to each other. That's why we's at the ready. We got you though. But thank you for listening. I mean, you was listening yesterday. You were listening today.
Sure,
we appreciate you. Thank you for listening.
7427.
No. 7447.
7447.
There you go.
Yes, ma'am. We got you now though. We got you now.
Yeah, because I have a problem with hearing, so I'm sorry.
No problem.
It's okay. So do we.
So, and
So do
her
we.
name, say her name again, Shanna.
Shawnee. Like the male name of Sean, but I guess they didn't get the girl. They didn't get the boy, so they had the girl and they put the IE at the end. Shawn E. Haynes. Almost like the underwear, but she got a Y in hers.
Oh, why? Shawnee.
Shawnee. Sean IE SHAUNIE. And then her last name is Haynes.
SHANIU. And what? Hayes? HAYES?
Yes.
HAYNES. Shawnee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to support as much as I could.
Yeah,
Cool.
we appreciate you. Thanks for
Yeah.
calling in.
Well, I thank you very much for taking my call and have a blessed holiday.
All right, you too. Have a blessed holiday as well.
That may help some other people.
Okay. Thanks.
Because she's got an event coming up this weekend, Friday, December 22nd, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And that's going to be a lot of fun. So we talked about it a little bit yesterday on the morning grind. And hey.
Okay, cool. I'll tell you what. Well, we're just about to get out of here.
Yep.
Okay, one more quick one, and then we got to make room for the professor. What's going on since you doing Fans View?
Yeah.
Sports talk. Don't forget, check that out. Fans View, 10 to noon on Friday. What's going on with the Mavs, dude?
Hey, the Mavs are about to be sold. Mark Cuban said that he was trying to sell it. They didn't stay on the market for long, and now it's got to be voted on. And yeah, we're going to get into it because my co-host Travis Kent is from up around that area, the Dallas area. He is a Mavs fan. So we are going to get into it because when there's an ownership change, sometimes you can have coaching changes. You could have a different path that we could be taking.
Location changes. Yeah, man.
That's always a possibility.
Yeah, I'd heard Las Vegas, bro.
New Orleans, Las Vegas. Not New Orleans. Oklahoma City had their franchise. They were in New Orleans. Seattle, Las Vegas. Those are the two.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It could always happen.
That's gonna be something.
So I had asked you a question. I wanted to know your thoughts.
My thoughts on my pots.
Yeah.
you can borrow the cast iron. You can borrow the Dutch oven.
Huh?
The cast iron into the man. Nothing cooks better than cast iron.
But I'm trying to impress her. I don't really care how. The carbon steel. I need that high quality, that top shelf stuff you got.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Those of y'all who use cast iron and Dutch ovens, don't nothing cook better than cast iron and Dutch ovens. You can have the brass, you can have the glow in the dark pots all you want,
Jabari.
but that cast, trust me,
Jabari.
my aunt from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, could burn, son.
See,
nah, man.
I asked you to be my rich friend, not a good friend.
Okay,
I don't want you to help me. I want you to help me.
Okay, cool. Well, I tell you what, when she tastes your food and look at you like Scooby-Doo sideways because you ain't cooked it right, because I told you to use the cast iron and the Dutch ovens, do not text me, do not call me, do not email me. I'm going to be slate.
You know what? You can still give me the pots, but I ain't gonna take them happily.
What,
Sorry, you thought I was gonna say, man, you can keep your pots. No, I still want them. I'm trying to impress. She from Hollywood, bruh.
Bro, if her taste buds ain't tingling by the time you get through things, then you done wasted your time.
To be continued.
To be continued. Yeah, we gonna hold that for the next morning grind. Hey man, it's been a pleasure, bro.
Yes.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the highlight of my week. I think I said that off air. Don't matter. I'm gonna say it again on the air. Thank you for helping me with this opportunity. I enjoy this every day.
You got it, man, and I enjoy it too. It's great to bump heads with you, talk a little noise with you, and doing all that, man. So thank you for showing up and showing out and doing what we do. So happy holidays to your family too, man.
To you as well.
All right, y'all have a good one. I will see you guys. We will see you guys. All right, we're gonna be doing this a little later on the morning grind next Wednesday, and later on tonight, be sure to join my on-air roommate. His name is Greg Ricard. He's got Let's Cool One. So we'll see you then, 7 to 10. Enjoy them then, and have a wonderful holiday. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa to one and all. The professor's up next. We out.